Hello, and welcome to this Getting Started video series. This series is designed to help you get started on your recovery journey. And today we're going to be talking about step 12. So let me read step 12 with you right now. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others and practice these principles in all of our affairs. So I love that first part, having had a spiritual awakening. Entering into step 12, you are at a place where you're looking back on your life, you're looking at your experience through recovery, and you're realizing that some significant things have changed. And the primary one is this: it's a spiritual awakening. What does that mean? Well, when you're asleep or sleepwalking, you're kind of not really paying attention. You're distracted, you're going through the motions. To wake up means that you are alert, you are conscious, you are making decisions and choices, and you are aware of your surroundings. And that's really what this spiritual awakening is about. It's going from kind of living life according to old programming or old thinking and living life now in a very intentional way that we could really describe as being awake. So we've woken up to realize in each step different principles that are so important for our journey forward with God. And that being said, this is a time to celebrate. This is a time to notice progress. This is a time to celebrate with God the way that as you continue to turn things over to Him and actively work these steps in your day-to-day life, you're seeing transformation. You're seeing healing. You're seeing maturity. You're seeing all of this good fruit showing up in your life because you're actively living life in alignment with God, according to His will, according to His ways, and not trying to do it on your own anymore. One of the signs that are milestones of this step is that you have a real sense of responsibility for yourself, and that's empowering rather than being something that you resent or are afraid of or overwhelmed by. Another milestone of this step is not feeling alone, that you know that God is with you and He is for you and you are not alone ever. And being an active part of a recovery community where you're not only receiving the beauty of this process with God, but you're also helping come alongside others and support them. And in this step, it talks about sharing this message with others. This isn't shoving it down people's throat or telling them you have to do the 12 steps. It's being willing to be honest and vulnerable about the journey that you're on, what led you there, and how God's working actively in your life through it. And that's attractive to people. Most of the people who are part of the recovery community at Gateway, they're there because they've noticed or seen change in other people's lives, and it was attractive, and they ask, hey, what's going on? And ultimately got results and learned things through that person, and were attracted to step in and try something new or try something different. And I want to encourage you. These principles that we have learned through each one of these steps, they're meant to be worked actively and daily. And when we practice them daily in our life, we will continue to see the beautiful results that we have seen at this point. Our journey isn't over. It's actually just beginning. But we are more equipped and empowered than we've ever been because we're no longer trying to do life on our own terms or in our own power. We now live according to God's will and ways, and we live by God's power. And as we do that, we enter further and further into who God created us to be and ultimately what God is calling us to do here on this earth. Your life matters. You have influence and have been positioned in places where people need you to live out your identity and your calling in your community. And an important part of your recovery journey is no longer being selfish or self-centered, but recognizing that your role in your community is important because you are important to God. And He's designed you to not only be a receiver of His good work, but also to be a participant in His good work, sharing what He has with others. So don't be shy, have courage, and be willing to share with others what God has shared with you.